Hey guys, it's Anders. In today's Logic Pro tutorial, moving on from the autotune plugin, I'm going to introduce you to the Flexpitch editor, which is much better for editing and adjusting the pitch of material. Let's get into that. Say my name out loud. Hello guys, so here we are in Logic looking at Flexpitch. If these videos are helpful for you, please pop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If there's any questions you have or other videos you'd like to see, please just comment down below and let me know. So the first thing I wanted to do is just show you something a little bit different. So Flexpitch is really aimed at like vocal correction and things like that. However, you can be completely creative with it. Now, when I was putting this track together, I wanted a particular like trumpet brass sound, like a warm kind of thing. I didn't have any instrument to play at the time that I was sorting this, but I did have this loop that was in completely the wrong key and completely the wrong notes. And using Flexpitch, as you can see, I've cut it up into each individual note and completely changed it. So if I was to disable this, this is what we have just with the notes cut up. And then corrected or adjusted for what I wanted. We can extend what we've done there. So that's just to really show you that it's not just for correcting vocals and things like that. You can pitch correct just about anything that's an individual element. Obviously this was a stereo sample, as you can see there, but the audio is the same left and right, so there's been no real issue correcting it and finding those particular notes. So you can use this in all kinds of ways, but now tutorial wise we are going to go a bit more traditional. I'm going to grab a bit of a vocal and just show you how you could correct some certain elements in that and how all the different handles and bits work within the window itself, and also how to access it, because it's not the easiest of thing. It's not a plugin, it's built into Logic and you have to access it in a certain way. So let's get fully into the video now. Okay guys, so what we've done here, I have grabbed the main vocal stem from my track Embrace, which according to the file was done in 2015, which feels like forever ago. If you want to hear the track, just search Anders Embrace, something like that in YouTube. There's a nice time-lapse video and you can hear the full track. It's also on Spotify and all of that jazz, but you're probably not going to grab it. What we're going to do is just take this section here. Now let's pretend that this vocal completely sucks. It's actually pretty damn sweet, but
when you reach the chord side of the world,
some hissy bits and stuff like that in there, but we're not going to look to fixing that today. So we want to flex pitch this. We want to very subtly correct some of the pitches and frequencies and things happening in the track. Now Flexpitch is quite smart. It's going to work out what key and everything it thinks this is in, but something that's really important for you to know, you must know the key of the track, okay? Otherwise you're going to be going all over the place. Now hopefully you're working like this in a full project where you've got instrumentals and things like that to work with alongside it, so you can hear what it's doing. But for tutorial purposes, we're just going to work out what we're doing and show you how to do it. So to access the Flexpitch menu, as you see at the moment, there's nothing there. We've got no info. What we have to do is click this little icon up here, okay? That's show hide flex, or you can command F it, which is like so. Now that introduces this little menu here, and currently it says monophonic because it's put this in a different flex time. What we actually want is flex pitch right at the top. It's separated from all of the time stretching algorithms there. That's going to take a second to figure out the vocal. Okay, so now you see the audio waveform representation has changed into a combination of the audio and what looks like MIDI notes with these weird lines going through them. And it now sounds like this.
When you reach the chord side of the world, and you need me to show you a way out.
Brilliant. So there's no actual change to the sound. That's perfect. That's what we want to happen in this scenario. What it has done is given us a note representation of where it thinks each piece of audio is, and this wavy white line is the vibrato of the note as it moves in between those amounts. And as you can see, these are pretty much all bang on, which means it's been sung nicely. It's sitting in those regions that it should do. You can see it does slide and move around a bit, but that's a vocal. It's the nature of it.
When you reach the chord side of the world.
See, really nice representation here is how much this wobbles within that note, but it's contained within that note. Now this one here dips out twice right at the start.
When you reach the chord side of the world.
Now in this piece of audio that's not particularly causing a problem, but say that was drifting out too much with another note being played over it, it might not sound correct.
When you reach the chord side of the world.
What you can do is select this little marker just at the bottom here. It says vibrato 100%, and you can narrow it down and bring it under control. So instead of it dipping outside of that particular note, it's now going to remain in there.
When you reach the
opposed to
when you reach the
That's a really subtle correction that's going to make a big difference if you've got someone who drifts pitches a lot in their audio. Have we got anything that's a really big example? No, she's sung this all very well and kept it for the most part all within the notes, with obviously some drift going on, but nothing major that I would be concerned about hearing. But that's how you would correct that. And you may see sometimes you've got a huge drift in a long note where it will drift completely into another note and then bring back in, and that might work fine, but you might find it's drifting into a note that clashes with everything else being played, and you could just correct it with this vibrato and just maintain it within that same region. Now something else that you can do is miss notes, or notes that are in between pitch. We've got some very minor ones up here.
You need me to.
So where she's saying you there, it's in between the two pitches, and that's this particular note here. You can just click and drag it where it's going to snap in position. What we need to do is use fine pitch, which is the exact opposite of vibrato, this little marker here. And we could just tune that in there and just bring it a little bit closer to that note.
You need me to.
If we undo that,
You need me to.
whereas at the moment you sounds a bit like it's just said, just you, whereas when we actually bring this back in and tune it much closer but still have it so it's naturally drifting down, it sounds more sung.
You need me to.
Little corrections like that can make a huge difference over the course of a track. To move on from that, we have a little feature in here called drift, or pitch drift more precisely. We do this for the in and the out of the note. So we'll use this section here again, where we're dropping down 2 notes and then we drift down 2 semitones here and then back up. This note goes from a high and then starts on a low. So if we listen, the sort of sudden jump in me, we can use pitch drift to bring this down a little bit, and then we'll narrow out the vibrato slightly, and that should bring it in a little bit better. We can then use this end to bring this one up a bit. We can be really extreme with this and almost join them up if you so wish. No, that's a bit too long.
You need me to, you need me. You need me to, you need me to.
Yeah, we can introduce that slide down instead.
You need me to, you need me to, you.
And we're doing this without really introducing any artifacts because we're being quite constrained about what we're doing. I mean, we can go absolutely extreme and it will sound awful.
You need me to, you need.
But if we be quite constrained and we listen to what we're doing, we can do it without artifacts and it will still sound quite natural.
You need me to, you need me to, you need me to.
Now the next thing we can do, we could adjust the gain of this particular part. For example, let's take this tiny piece here. If this was standing out too much, we can reduce it, and you'll see here how the audio representation adjusts as well. So if it was sticking out like this, for example, you could control it so it sits with the rest.
You need me to, you need me to, you need me to, you need me.
This can be particularly useful on breaths and things like that that may have appeared.
You need me to, you need me to, you need.
That's a really nice way to correct, like I say, breaths or plosives that have perhaps popped out a little bit in the audio.
You need me to, you need me.
And the very last bit to look at is the formant shift. Now the formant is the tone of voice. It's the prominent harmonics in a voice that gives it its tone. Now you can shift the formant, which is going to shift the whole tonality of the voice. If we take all of these sections and we formant shift them, we can see they've moved down to another note. This will sound completely different.
You need me, 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 you need.
And this can be really great for creating harmonies or even creating chord sounds within a vocal when you don't have the extra harmonies to work with. So you can move it down to other relevant notes.
You need me, you need me, you need.
And shifting the formant is particularly useful if you're having to do quite an extreme correction. For example, if I was to reduce this note down, so say here,
You need me, you need me.
it now doesn't sound natural. However, if we can shift the formant down with it,
You need me,
or in this case shift the formant up with it,
you need me, you.
well, it's going to require some work, but that would be our way to try and
You
maintain
need me,
how it sounds.
you need me. You need me, you need me.
There we go.
You need me, you need me, you need. You need me, you need me.
Now we're starting to get creative and we can really be changing the sounds around and creating something completely new rather than just being corrective.
You need me, 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 you need me.
So guys, that is your full introduction to Flexpitch and what you can do with it. I hope that's been helpful. If you have something that's particularly difficult that you're not sure how to fix in Flexpitch, what I'm going to suggest you do, the first couple of people who can throw me a bit of a vocal or some audio that they're having trouble with in the comments, give me like a Google download link in G Drive. I will do a video of how I would correct it to try and help you guys out. So I hope that's been helpful. I will see you guys on the next one.